Yeah, you bet. I mean, we'll be getting close to that time. So, yeah. Thank you. So one time, Serene, I don't know, there's probably not many people here know Serene, Taranjeet's little angel there, but she's quite extraordinary. There was one time when I did some work at Taranjeet's house, baseboard or something, and I had been there for a few hours while Serene was in school, and while I was there, Taranjeet delivered to me a San Pellegrino. The pot. What's it called?
San Pellegrino.
San Pellegrino. So it's had an orange San Pellegrino pot. Yeah, great. Had one of those. And then Serene comes home from school and she's, "Oh, Emma John, you did such good work." And she hadn't even seen it yet. And like, "Wow, you've been working so hard." And she just kids had no idea. She hadn't seen anything that I'd done. "Thank you for helping us." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're very welcome, Serene." And then she disappears and she comes back out and she says, "Emma John." I go, "Yes, Serene." She goes, "So? Heard you had a San Pellegrino." It was so good. So I was like, "Yeah, I did." She goes, "How'd you like it?" It was great. You know, I mean, this is extraordinary behavior. Something so simple can be so beautiful. You know, if we could all just learn from Serene. So yeah, I've never forgotten that, and still think of it to this day every time I see a San Pellegrino.
I packed him tonight, and she says, "Is it Lama John's birthday?" I said, "No."
Oh. Yeah, and I'm not a Rama either. Maybe she's my Lama. I wanted to talk about something which we don't talk about too much, but we talk a lot about the nature of mind, and we talk a lot about gaining awareness and the constant drill, in a way, of sitting down and meditating, and sometimes that can be a struggle. But we don't ever really talk about devotion. And that's a completely valid and beautiful path in itself. Like, because when it comes down to it, when you're meditating, it's really at its ultimate level. If you attain to its ultimate level, there's a total loss of the self that you relate to as a certain kind of self. You'll always be having an experience, but the more of the me that's there, then the more constricted the experience is, the more shallow the experience is, the less connected the experience is, the more afflicted the experience is. Because that's the mind, the John, that has just been, living its whole life trying to become something that it can never actually ever be. It's just a futile endeavor. For one thing, that John will just actually vanish at some point. John will. my luminosity, my divine body will go on, and I will be awake, and it will, but the John will like it never was, and all my efforts to try and prop up the John will have just been a big waste of time. And the reason why I bring up devotion is because there are many people, to this day and in the past, who have like attained these states of living in this nirvanic type of bliss or paradise purely by surrendering themselves to some kind of, I don't know, you want to use the word God, or some kind of presence, person, entity, whatever it may be. Like the Christians have Jesus. You hear many of the stories about, there was the day that I awakened, or the day that Jesus entered my heart, and then they're forever changed. And there's millions of people singing, like worshiping, singing, in order to just open their hearts, and so desperately want to join, to enter into communion with something. Like for Alvaro, it might be something like, I don't know, but his God might be like the earth or nature or something that throbs inside the earth. I don't know, that like swims up and enters the trees and fills everything, and like it fills him, and like maybe that's Alvaro's God. I don't know. I'm talking for Alvaro in a way, but I'm just saying, like, as long as I've known him in a way, it seems like Alvaro, is this true in a sense that you've been in a way trying to surrender to that in a way and let that fill you or become you or something like that, would you say?
Yes, I saw that as beings we all want to get to the light.
Uh-huh.
And this is not just a human being, but the flies, the plants. So to surrender to fully, to be able, as much as we surrender, it will allow to be free and to reach and to encompass more than to try to get there.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And so that's another method. And the thing is about the method is you get to use a beautiful object. That's one of the most beautiful things about that path, is the mind is then enticed and drawn into something that it is captivated by. Because one of the hardest things about trying to become a good meditator and reach stillness is boring objects. Right? We need an exciting object, or else we just fly off the object. We're just not interested. There's too many other exciting things that are happening in the world. So, but if you're drawn to this, whatever it may be for you, this light, this God, this guru, something, that's largely like some of the Buddhist paths, where there is the guru and then they surrender to the guru, but the guru is not just like one person. The guru is like all of everything, who you then hopefully understand is you as well. But the main ingredient here is that you're surrendering a self. You're surrendering a self to this greater thing. That is no different than sitting there and trying to reach the luminosity of your mind as the self cracks apart and the gaps appear between your thoughts, and the luminosity of all reality it just fills you, and then your perception of yourself is gone, and you're filled with the bliss of the luminous mind. If you're like a Dzogchen Buddhist type practitioner, you would have experience like that, and the mind would label it that. If you were a Christian, you'd be like giving yourself over to Jesus and all that means, and your mind would perceive that and then you would surrender and break apart and fall into that, and it would be the same. Or you, like Alvaro, you know, the very light that is in the mosquito and between the mosquito and the trees, and you would fall into that. And it's, you see, it's not like there's a whole bunch of different gods around and you have to choose the right one. It's not. It's just that you have to find the way that your mind will be attracted to the one that's for you, that will take you to the place where everything is. And if you reach that, then you understand all religion. All of it. It's all of it. You know, and if you go to a church or you go to a mosque or you go to a Buddhist temple and you sit there and think these people are wrong or these people are right and they're the only ones that are right, then you misunderstand something. Then there's a mistake in your mind. You don't understand something. Anyone that's achieved the fulfillment of their religion has fulfilled all religions. And if you fulfilled one religion, which means total freedom and union with all creation, then there's no disparity between anything that you see. So that's why it's a very great practice to watch your mouth and your mind. If you're putting down one religion and bringing up one or something like that, it's just a mistake. It's just believing the mind, because that's all just the realm of the smaller mind. It's a whole sphere of reality. Everyone's confused there. So, and that's why, you know, there's all the arguments over the supper table. You know, bring up religion and just, you know, the fight begins because everyone's confused. Because there's no answer. Everyone reaches truth their own way. So I just thought, you know, for an interesting experiment, why don't we do a meditation that is something like that? And I thought we could start with some music. So we'll go into meditation. I'm going to play a devotional song. So it's 8:19.
Go now.
We don't have to go now. No.
Okay.
No, please stay until you have to go. Yeah. So just go into meditation. I'm going to play the music at a certain point, but I'll try and guide us in a more of a devotional type of meditation. So, just falling into the place you left last. It should be, there probably is an echo of the last meditation, so you can tune into that, so we don't have to spend time setting up the meditation. Just drop into it. Just relax. Tune into your inner presence. Feel yourself fill your body. visualize that you're sitting and you're surrounded by this limitless expanse. There's no edge. And way off in the distance, there's a light. And the light begins to come towards you. And even though it's far away, you instantly feel it in your heart. You know that it's focused upon you. It's coming for you. Like a long-lost beloved lover. Like the memory of a tender embrace. And the light draws closer and closer. And as it gets closer, it gets bigger. And you begin to feel more of this presence within your body, as if it's already communing with you. And you make out some kind of figure. It's a personification of love, of eternity. And they appear to you however you see them. Maybe it's your Lama. Maybe it's Jesus. Maybe it's your mother. Maybe it's the Earth Mother. But it will be for you and special for you. And they get closer and closer, and you feel them drawing near. You can feel the warmth as they begin to fill you with their caring and their love. There's a timelessness about them that enters you. All worry, all concern leaves you. There's only this moment between you and them. And now they're getting quite close. They look into your eyes. They gaze right into your eyes. And they embrace you with their whole being. And you feel yourself slipping away as you give yourself over to them. Enter their peace, and you enter their equanimity, you enter their love. As they enter yours. And as the two of you, these two beings, join in communion, like your heart is their heart, this light fills you within and joins their light. And this light just fills everything and begins to melt all borders. As you enter this rapture of union. Any small self that tries to fight it is quickly washed away in the current of this continuous love that comes from this being and mixes with you. And in your heart is a wish to express this love that you have with them.
And keep my eyes above the waves. My soul rests in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
Finish off the class and we'll do the dedication and a bowing down to all our teachers who came before. And in your mind, wish that all beings would find their hearts opening, whatever of the many thousand ways that there are, but they may find their doorway, and that their heart could completely explode in love. And then they could inherit their true nature and know themselves. In communion with the whole. And that this self is just a beautiful little mechanism to express ourselves. That the self is just a beautiful way that the divine can work its way through us, through our hands, through our voices, through our hearts in the world. And that in order for that to happen, we must allow it to happen. So dedicate this class to the courage it takes and the surrender it takes to give yourself over. Whatever form that takes. And thank you all for coming tonight. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
And you, Amber. Nice to meet you. Now we have to clean up.